white hot Kojonup. Last week, bounced back to the winners list with their first win of the season against Boyup Brook. Southerners ran into Kojonup in round one, and then they also had a big win last week over Dean Mill. Wonderful day down at Pemberton last week in support of breast cancer. Ball up in the middle. Chance to clear for both sides. Tigers come around the back, look to clear it. Can't quite get out there through Kemp. Now a chance to drive them forward. It's chopped off by McRae back there for Southerners. Southerners look to clear. Finds its way into the hands of Jasper over there, who drives them out towards that outer side wing, where we see so much of the play here in the middle of Manjimup at the Tigers' home ground. Big contest on the outer side. Quaife out there for the Tigers. Ball goes across the line and we'll have it tossed in. Quaife on the scene, as is Jed Edwards. Doing the ruck work for Tigers. Spills to the back, chance for both sides. It comes out the back, looks like Kemp out there clearing once again. Still pretty much in the middle of the ground, but a chance there for Cole, who joins us this week in Tigers colours. A rare outing for Connor Cole, back from East Perth with the Waffle General bye thanks to the state game. Good to see these young lads who have come from this area come back and be able to play for their home clubs. And a long time, I think, since Connor Cole's been seen in Tigers colours. So great to see him back out there today. Kicked inboard by Collins for Southerners, inside 50. Second opportunity they've had. Again, it's Ben Kabassi who drives goalward. And again, Ben Kabassi has kicked truly. That's two for him early in the game. Southerners lead 2 goals straight. Tigers yet to score. Both sides have had their opportunities, but a really good transition to play that went through Collins. Ended up with Kabassi, pretty similar position to where he kicked his first. And Southerners have got the early jump in this one. A couple of changes for the Tigers happening in front of us here. Southerners also making a change. Jack Kabassi coming off for Southerners, as we see just in front of the commentary position. Rakowski coming off there for Tigers. He's been a really good inclusion for them this year. We might see him in action in a few weeks' time at the Great Southern Colts Carnival, which this year will be at Lake Grace. Ball back in the middle with the umpires. Jed Edwards doing the ruck work early. In fact, I think that's Quaife coming off a wing. So unconventional setup from Chook. Aaron Watson leading the Tigers side. Quaife, who handled the ruck so superbly and often by himself last year for the Tigers, coming in off a wing while Jed Edwards does the ruck work in the middle. Unconventional setup, but let's see how it works for them. Comes out the back. Opportunity for both sides here. Spills out the back, and in fact, it's that man Quaife who does get it out the back, and a nice entry there. Chance for a mark there from Connor Brown. They pick it up at ground level, but it's all Southerners in that last line of defence, and it's tied it up, and they quickly switch play to that outer side. Stackpool out there. Just eludes him briefly, but he manages to tidy up. Now gets that little chip over the top. Doesn't quite work out, but an arm over the shoulder, and that will be a free kick to Southerners on that outer side. Just in front of the scoreboard, which reads Tigers yet to score. Southerners 2 goals straight, 12. Nice pass to centre half back there, and now the Southerners can try and clear. That's Smith, I believe, taking a bounce, runs across half back, kicks it up towards this near side wing, and now it's a foot race. Southerners lose their feet. Chance now for Tigers through Ryan Edwards. He fires it up towards half forward, close to the boundary. Good contest. Umpire has signalled the lasso, but I think that's going to be off hands, and we'll see the boundary umpire toss it in. And once again, we'll see Jed Edwards doing the ruck work. Thomas Quaife still on that far side wing. Edwards doesn't get hands to this one. Ball heads back towards the boundary line, and we will have another throw in. Doing the ruck work is Corey Hughes for Southerners, opposed to Jed Edwards. Stalemate that time. Let's see how they go this time round. Pretty even contest. Now out the back, it's another foot race, and we've got Blake Johnson for Tigers. Tries to get his hands on it, looking for that handball out the back. Southerners manage to hold it in. We'll have a stoppage just on true centre wing there. And once again, it will be Edwards and Hughes doing battle in the ruck. This time, Tigers get it clear. Managed to drive it forward through Brown. But again, it's chopped off. And having a good game already back there is Barnsby. He's chopped a couple off. This time he goes right back towards the goal square. They switch play. They're looking for that outer side wing again. And that's exactly where the kick goes. And that's a ripping kick. And it's Tayton Smith out there who found himself just enough space, somewhat uncontested mark in the end. Goes the handball over the top, which he finds Giancomo. He gets the ball forward for Southerners, up towards half forward. Chance for Tigers to mop up. And they do. Safe little kick. Finds Connor Cole, who now looks at his options, spears it into the middle, and finds captain Reese Edwards, who now comes to this near side, finds Dylan Edwards. He calls for someone to come to him, ends up handballing back. Reese Edwards, now he finds the kick he likes. Connor Brown, can't quite hold it, but mops up, sends it inside 50, another entry for Tigers, just eludes Namnick. Still got a chance at ground level here, the Tigers. Socket away. Tayton Smith, he's been busy early. He tracks the footy now out towards that scoreboard. Handball chopped off. Ball goes back inside. Namnick again. Spoiled. Ball hits the deck. Umpire Ryan Tyndale down there says, give it to me, boys. I'll have this one. And doing the ruck work inside forward 50 for the Tigers is Namnick, that man. Ball bounces around. Good chance here for Brown. He's been busy early. Comes across the ground. Just eludes Ryan Edwards out here. Gives Southerners a chance to tidy up, which they do through Ben Dotty. And now a chance. But Jack Kabassi runs straight into a tackle, holding the ball, says the umpire. It's in the hands of Connor Cole. He goes inside 50. Beautiful pass, that one. And he has found that man, Namnick, on the lead. He's had a good start to the season, Namnick. He's been very dangerous in certainly the games we've seen here on Filming Footy. Gets his hands on the footy a lot. Great lead, that one. He's good in the air as well. Goes short this time. And he has picked out the pass and found Cooper Nitschke, who's had a wonderful start to his career with the Tigers. Of course, played waffle footy with the West Coast Eagles. Goes around the corner. Full points to the Tigers. Cooper Nitschke hits the scoreboard. Scoreboard now reads 1 goal straight, Tigers. And they trail Southerners 2 goals straight, 12. Early going, even matchup. We've seen both sides have their opportunities. Southerners have probably actually been inside less than Tigers. But they've looked dangerous every time they've gone forward, whereas Tigers have been chopped off a couple of times in defence. Southerners holding up well back there, but that time the pass was perfect for Namnick. Then he found Nitschke over the top. Loose checking there from Southerners in their back 50. Probably thought Namnick was going to take the shot on himself, but the end result, goal to the Tigers, and we're back in the middle. We reset, and Edwards does battle once again with Hughes. Chance to clear for both sides. It goes out to that far side wing. Absorbing battle so far between Quaife and Smith. Smith quite tall for a wing, but opposed to an actual ruck out there. That's going to be a fascinating duel to see unfold as the day wears on. This time, however, it's Quaife who's won the free kick. He goes back, assesses his options. Play on that outer side far wing, as we see so much of the play here at Ray Park. Drives it up, chopped off by Southerners. Does get to half forward though for Tigers. Can they do something with this? Looks like Rakowski out there for the Tigers. They managed to clear it back to Nitschke. Dances around. Gets a handball, but it's chopped off, and Southerners a chance to clear now. Drive it back in towards the middle of the ground. And now a clearing kick from Tigers. They find that man Cole. He's been super busy early, as has Connor Brown, who holds the footy now. True centre circle. Goes towards half forward. The kick just misses. Lockie Hughes now with a chance. He ended up providing the shepherd as we see Stackpool clear. Drives it to Tayton Smith. Back to Lockie Hughes now. There's a good run from Southerners. The kick is misdirected, however, and chopped off nicely back there for Tigers. who will now look to clear. Goes straight up to centre-half back. That's a nice kick. Barnsby at centre-half back. And Tigers now a chance to drive right through the middle of the ground. It's that man Brown again. He has been incredibly busy early in the going. Inside 50, just clears the head of Nitschke. Another chance now for Kemp inside that forward 50. Now they're starting to look dangerous inside. That kick is ill-directed though, and Ben Kabassi inside the defensive 50 for Southerners manages to take the intercept mark and clear for Southerners. They buy themselves some time. Managed to shift the ball up towards that outer side wing once again. This time the kick comes inboard. Tayton Smith measures his options, goes wide this time. Now a chance for Southerners for an entry inside 50, and it's Seaton Thompson almost on the 50 on that far side, right on the boundary line. Goes inside and it's chopped off. Chopped off really nicely there by Tigers. Barnsby down there doing the defensive work for Tigers. And we'll have a throw in inside Southerners forward line. Once again, Edwards will do the ruck work for the home side. Dean Collins this time doing the work for Southerners. Ball spills, tracks back out towards the boundary. Chance for Tigers to clear, comes up towards that wing. That's why they've got Quaife out there, that long ball, but it just still managed to elude him. But he will be a good target in the air. Ball goes back inside, chopped off once again. This time it's Dylan Edwards who goes straight into the middle. Aggressive kick, finds Jed. Jed Edwards comes out to this near side pocket. And now they've got the chance to move the footy up this near side. It's Edwards now. Reese comes to the true centre wing on this side of the ground. Beggs, he's been in outstanding form at different levels of footy so far this year. He's dominating the Colts. He's been fantastic this season. Now Brown again, goes inside 50. Chance for Namnick. He manages to turn his opponent. Barnsby tracks the ball back inside, out near the boundary, looks for something inboard. And finds it. It's Connor Cole. Again, he's had a magnificent opening to this game. Connor Cole, just inside 50. Will kick from about 45, one suspects, by the time he takes his allotted time, lines it up. Brown and Cole have both been really important for Tigers in the early going. Really good piece of footy there from Beggs early in his senior career. But as we get behind this one from Connor Cole, lines them up, drives it long, and there's the second one for the Tigers. Connor Cole hits the scoreboard. Tigers, 2 goals straight, 12. Southerners, 2 goals straight, 12. And this game, which offered the opportunity to be a really close one, so far is living up to its billing. It's 2 goals apiece. About halfway through the first quarter, all tied up on the scoreboard, 12 apiece. Some good end-to-end footy, some interesting tactics from both sides. We see Jed Edwards going back into the middle once again for Tigers. Quaife still on that outer side wing. On the near side wing here, they've got Ryan Edwards opposed to Riley Gill. Gill, another one of those good young players that's come through that Southerners system, played some really good league footy early in his career. Ben Kabassi tries to break away from the middle, gets a high tackle, and Kabassi with the chance to just settle and have a look. Now he drives straight down the middle. Really aggressive kick. That's Hughes down there in a ton of space. He now goes inside 50. Another player who's loose might have just thought about playing on there and thought better of it, and the umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt. That's Tom Collins down there. Collins inside 50. Little bit loose there from Tigers. Hughes was in a ton of space and Collins had managed to find himself plenty as well. Collins kick on the way, close to the goalpost, makes the umpire work, but that's a full pointer. Collins kicks Southerners third. Tigers, 2 goals straight, 12. Now trail Southerners 3 goals straight, 18. 5 goals between the teams. No blemishes on the scoreboard yet. Some really good movement inside 50 there. Kabassi won the free kick in the middle. Really aggressive kick that he chewed off and found Hughes down there. Hughes probably more space than I think Aaron Watson would be happy with on that occasion. and then found Tom Collins, who cut it fine for the goal umpire, but did enough to register Southerners third. Edwards, once again, opposed to Corey Hughes in the middle. Chance for Lockie Hughes to try and escape the middle, but it actually gets socked Tigers' way. Chance there for Beggs, but it's cleared. Now to that outer side wing. Quaife chops it off, drives it back towards the 50. It's marked out there by Connor Cole. He's had a wonderful first quarter. He finds Nitschke, I think it is, out there, who drives it forward. Good opportunity here for Tigers, deep inside. Nitschke again combines with Cole. This time the kick comes inboard. Wonderful kick inboard, really aggressive kick. Found Kemp, who had to stretch, but was up to the task. And now Jed Kemp, the chance to once again go back and tie the scores up with the Tigers third. Been a good addition to this Tigers side this year, Kemp. Another one with experience at waffle level. He's come in, just added some experience to this young Tigers outfit, who are certainly an improved side this year. Goes back, leans back on the kick. And there is the first behind of the game. Tigers now 2 goals, 1, 13. Trail Southerners 3 goals straight, 18. Chance for Southerners now. Hayden Wilson comes out to this near side pocket. And indeed, the kick after the behind does find Wilson, who now looks up the ground. Movement ahead of him, but it's pretty much one-on-one footy ahead of him as well. And it's chopped off now, really well chopped off there by Zach Johnson, who now gets the chance to drive Tigers deep back into attack. Goes looking for Namnick. But it was Edwards from the side who came in and provided the contest. Now the ball spills. Spilt there to Blake Johnson. He got onto his left, had a pop at goal, didn't miss by much, but it was just to that far side. 2 goals, 2, 14. Tigers trail Southerners 3 goals straight, 18 in the early going. Southerners a chance. Their second kick in about a minute. This time they're going to the far side through Barnsby. He drives it out towards that scoreboard. Dropped there by Hughes. Quaife almost got a handle on it. Another chance for Tigers to create some repeat pressure here, right in front of that scoreboard, which reads 2-2, 14 to 3 straight, 18. Tossed in by the boundary umpire. Quaife, good body work. Ball just eludes him though. Southerners forced their way up towards the wing there. Beggs though, fantastic tackle. Did hold them up. Not long enough though. Southerners got their hands on the footy, drive it forward, and Collins takes the mark, thought about wheeling around onto that right foot of his, thought better of it. There was nothing ahead of him, played on, got caught. And it's now going to be a free kick out there to Tigers. Tough one there for Collins. He wanted to move the footy on quickly, but he turned around and there was just nothing ahead of him. Edwards now at half back for the Tigers. The chance to just settle things down, look for the right option. As we see Beggs over here coming off the ground, Soroka back on for the Tigers. Really aggressive kick again, straight through the middle. That was Brown. That time it eluded him. Really aggressive kick straight up the other end of the ground as Southerners look for an entry straight up the middle of the ground. It's mopped up there by Zach Johnson for Tigers. Looks out to this near side. They bounce the ball across. Another risky kick, but it's contested well by Ruffino there. Southerners socket the ball back in towards the middle of the ground. Jack Kabassi had a chance, flicked it up. A couple of the crowd wanted throw. Now it's wrapped up. Pack of players. Umpire says, give it to me. And we'll have a ball up at centre half forward for Southerners. That time won by Corey Hughes. But Tigers managed to push the ball forward. Chance to run onto it now. Taking a bounce on that outer side. That was Soroka, who just came back onto the ground only about a minute or so ago. Drives it deep inside 50. Chance to clear. Barnsby, however, for Southerners, gets the clearing kick. Manages to find safety out there in the form of Gill. And Gill drives it up to Lockie Hughes. Just past the ever-present scoreboard that seems to get so much of the action out there at this ground. Hughes drives it up towards centre wing proper. Almost taking the mark over the back out there was Corey Hughes. Now Southerners get a chance to break, but it comes around the back. Tigers look to clear. That was Giancomo, had the ball, but got tackled, got wrapped up. Now Southerners another chance to go inside, and that's a beautiful spearing pass. Seaton Thompson. Thompson right out near that far side boundary. He'll kick from about 30. It's not the distance, it's going to be the angle. That's the tricky part of this one for Seaton. Lines it up. Gets onto that right foot. Goal umpire didn't move. And there's the fourth. Southerners have got their fourth. It's Tigers 2-2, 14. Southerners 4 straight, 24. Wonderful kick from Thompson, who was right out there on that far side boundary line. Unusual sight. Thompson seems to be spending more time inside forward 50 for Southerners in this one. As the teams reset and head back to the middle. Jay Ridley in there for Southerners, along with Corey Hughes, who's been prominent in the ruck so far. Thompson starting inside that forward 50. Jed Edwards still doing the ruck work for Tigers, and that's a wonderful tap straight over that right arm. Now it falls to Rakowski, who drives them deep inside 50. Wonderful contested mark down there by Namnick, and just like that, Tigers will have a shot at goal. That was a wonderful piece of ruck work, superbly directed by Jed Edwards there. Just flicked it across with his right arm, right hand, straight into the path of his midfielder. And it results in a shot at goal. Seconds later, Namnick lines up, leans back on the kick. Tigers fans love it. And there's the siren, perfectly timed. Tigers, 3 goals to 20. Southerners, 4 goals straight, 24. It's been the even clash that we expected and the even clash that we hoped for. Some interesting moves from both sides. We're seeing Seaton Thompson spending more time inside forward 50 than we normally would. He's normally, of course, part of that ever-present Southerners midfield. Quaife, the ruckman who held Tigers' ruck division together for most of last season, starting out on a wing. Don't think he came off at all during that quarter either. So some interesting moves from both sides. I think both coaches would probably be happy with progress at this point in the game. It's a 4-point ball game. Tigers, 3 goals to 20. Southerners, 4 goals straight, 24. Round 6, belt-up round for Country Football WA, and we'll rejoin you at the start of the second quarter.
You go, BK?
Good. How are you?
What are you on recording today?
Yes.
Good day for footy.
Good game.
Yeah.
Really good game.
Yeah, not bad. The average yesterday, it's down at Europe.
Peak, ain't it? Yeah.
Yes.
Nice.
Good.
Mate. Yeah.
How are you?
We're keen to get up top. Fair enough. Hi, Charlie. There you go.
Not
Fair
at
enough.
all.
Yeah.
Welcome back as the teams prepare for the second quarter here at Ray Park. For those wondering, this is BK, the Manager of Operations for the Lower Southwest Football League, calling from a room that Tigers have had to come and specifically open for me because you've now found the Manager of Operations kryptonite. Don't like heights, don't deal with them, and couldn't climb the ladder to do commentary from where the filming is being done. Tigers straight out the middle, straight forward. Really big chance early in the second quarter, running into an open goal. Connor Cole, who's been in everything so far. Lightning start for Tigers. They hit the front now, 4 goals to 26. Southerners, 4 straight, 24. Beautiful centre break there from Tigers. And that's a big 60 seconds of football. They took it straight from the middle to end that first quarter. Got one that got them back to within that 4-point margin. And now to start the second, straight out the middle again. And Edwards just getting on top here slightly. But Corey Hughes, competitor, big strong man, and this time absolutely wins it back down. Follows up his own ball, and in fact we'll get a free kick there for holding, and that will be a kick to, I think it's Wrigley out there for Southerners. Ball gets returned to him just near the centre circle. Wrigley with his left foot straight inside towards 50, chopped off nicely by Edwards, who goes straight out wide, out to that man Quaife, playing on that, still on that far side wing. So obviously something in mind there for Chook, because he's had Quaife, he hasn't swapped wings, he's still on that outer side, and so much of the play at this ground seems to go through that outer side. Another chance for Tigers, it's still on that outer side wing. Picked up, mopped up there beautifully by Rakowski. He's been good early. Now they go towards centre half forward, and it's Cole. He's been busy early. Getting straight in there was Kemp. He's another one that's been busy. Tigers fans wanted too high. No doing, says umpire Ryan Tyndale. Comes in, grabs the footy himself. So Josh Soroka still on this near side wing opposed to Gill. Quaife still on that far side wing for Tigers. This time with some indecision, it's Wrigley for Southerners, but he moves the footy forward. Chance down there for McRae, and he will get a kick for over the shoulder as the rain just starts to come back in and gets a little bit heavier here in the centre of Manjimup. Inside 50 for Southerners. Big chance. Good spoil. Well done there. Good defence, Tigers. Another chance for Southerners. Scrambled kick, but getting back there, the ruckman, Jed Edwards. Now he comes out to this near side. Just eludes Connor Cole. Jasper sends Southerners inside forward 50. Great kick. Nice and calm there. Cole, who's been so busy early in this game, the kick just eluded him here on this near side. Goes back inside. Dean Collins now with a chance to put Southerners back in front, if he can maintain Southerners' unblemished so far today goal-kicking record. Collins lines it up as the rain gets heavier still. Just off the side of the boot, makes the goal umpire work. But that has just snuck inside that right-hand goal post. 5th goal for Southerners. Tigers, 4 goals to 26. Southerners, 5 straight, 30. You're with BK here in the middle of Manjimup, commentating from an empty room because he couldn't get up the ladder. Welcome It might be by 5 points, it might be by 6 points. Wonderful kick there from Kemp. Worked out his angles. Got round onto that right foot. Who says algebra doesn't matter later in life? And the Tigers take the lead back. Several lead changes in this one and quite an absorbing contest brewing here on a Sunday afternoon in Mandurah. Round 6, belt-up round for Country Football WA. Jed Edwards and Hughes do battle once again. Edwards gets the best of it. Brown was almost away, got tackled. Umpire Ryan Tyndale calls a throw, and that looks like Lockie Hughes clears it. Comes out to this near side wing, leading the foot race back is Stackpool. Good young player, this one. Sends it up towards half forward. Safely taken on the chest there by Wilson, and he'll look to drive Southerners back inside 50. In fact, right on 50. Comes off the hands of Dean Collins, who just tries to work out a bit of cramp there. Touch the ball across the line, so whether it's just in or just outside 50, we're going to have a boundary throw in any case. It is just inside, or that's what the boundary umpire says. Field umpire calls for it back. Ryan Tyndale says, let's have another go. Come in a bit closer. Let's get this footy away from the boundary once and for all. Ruckman do battle once again. Both the big men have been busy, Edwards and Hughes. We get another contest, and once again, Edwards and Hughes will do battle. Another good tap from Edwards there. Lockie Hughes putting the pressure there on Cole, and we'll have another ball up. The Ruckman go at it once again. This time cleanly won by Hughes. Good chance here for Southerners if they can just get the handball free. Tayton Smith goes looking for it at ground level. Cleared almost. Smothered well by Tigers. Now they get the clearing kick. Comes out right in front of their bench. It's gone out. Was it touched first? Umpire says no. Tristan Mead waves his arm out and says, nope, that's a kick to Stackpool, and he will look to drive Southerners back towards that 50. Seaton Thompson sets himself. Can't hang on to it. Big contest here. Chopped off by Thompson. Now he drives them up towards Collins. Collins barges his way to the front. Really good defensive work from Pinelli. Manages to get a fist to it, puts it out into the car park. And the Rucks, who have been incredibly busy this quarter, set up inside Southerners, forward 50. Ball drops to the front of the contest. Ryan Tyndale once again says, let's just do that one again. Edwards and Hughes set themselves. Tossed in. Hughes from the back. Slaps it down to the front of contest. Seaton Thompson runs onto it, gets a boot to it with his right, soccers it through, one behind the results. Southerners lose their clean record, 6 goals, 1-37. They trail Tigers 6-5, 41. Tigers bring the footy back into play. Edwards goes straight up the middle of the ground. Aggressive kick, and why not when you've got Connor Brown up in front of you? He's been magnificent so far today. Straight down that outer side of the ground now, just eludes Reef Watson. He chases back. Southerners in all sorts of trouble. They turn left, right, they turn left. There was trouble everywhere. Ball spills out towards the boundary. Southerners still looking to get a handle on this one. Nitschke, I think it was out there, couldn't quite free it. Ball eludes Quaife on that outer side wing. He gets it back, gets spun in the tackle. Ball spills to Thompson. Thompson gets tackled. And in fact, the umpire says, nope, you held on to Seaton Thompson way too long there. So it'll be a free kick to Southerners. Outer side wing. Thompson now directing traffic, sends it right out front. And Pinelli's been marking him closely. got a hand to it, but Edwards. Southerners around the front as the sun comes out. Chad Wrigley gets tackled, managed to get free. Tayton Smith, classy player, came to Southerners last year, represented the Lower Southwest at the Great Southern Colts Carnival, lines up now. Southerners to 7-1, 43. Scoreboard hasn't got a point there for them, so I am declaring that. Saw that one. Really good kick there. Played in the Great Southern Colts Carnival last year, had a magnificent carnival, got selected for regional districts up at the Nutrien Country Championships a month later. Acquitted himself really well there as the Red Dogs went on to, from memory, win the title up there. Great Southern Colts Carnival, of course, coming up in about 4 weeks' time. Tigers senior coach standing about 20 feet in front of me, Aaron Watson, will be coaching the side once again, this time in Lake Grace. The big men do battle once again. Kemp with those bright boots. Didn't need to see the number. They drive it forward inside 50. Good chance here. Tigers been electrifying out the middle. Every time they've gone straight out, they've created some scores within virtually seconds of centre contest. This time, though, Lockie Hughes clears up at half back. Handball doesn't find Thompson, the intended target. It landed with Blake Johnson for Tigers, who got wrapped up. We have another ball up, centre half forward for Tigers. Oh, Nitschke thought he was away. Umpire calls it back. It's a free kick for Lockie Hughes. Chance to just settle things down for Southerners. Comes out to this near side this time, Hughes. Looking out here for Wilson. And Wilson gets a free kick for an arm chop. Tristan Mead calling that one. Lockie Hughes comes round for the handball received. The handball doesn't quite meet its intended target. This is getting a little messier than I think was designed, but they figure it out. Hughes now drives it towards the 50. Coming out to meet that was Smith, who's copped a little, perhaps a stinger, but maybe the midsection on the way through. And once again, Tigers clear the danger. Reef Watson near the centre circle. Plays on now, gets out onto his right, drives it right up towards the 50, and that's Namnick out there. And Jethro looks inside, just outside his range, so he pops it inside the 50, finds Brown. Brown. Now it finds its way to Nitschke through Kemp. Nitschke gets onto his right foot, kicks it round the corner. Another goal to the Tigers. Tigers move to 7 goals, 5, 47. Southerners 7-1, 43, and I'm sticking by that. Another lead change. Fascinating contest here on a Sunday afternoon as the Tigers hierarchy in front of me look up to the heavens and look to see how long there is left in this second quarter. Wonderful contest so far. Several lead changes in this second quarter. The sun's back out here in Manjimup on a Sunday afternoon. Tyre Power Manjimup league action in the Lower Southwest Football League. And once again, we get Edwards and Hughes lining up in the middle. Jed Kemp in there with Lockie Hughes. Edwards wins this one over the back. Almost falls for Nitschke. Manages to get a boot to it. Sends it forward. But in the meantime, Ryan Tyndale has said Southerners were hanging on. And Nitschke will get the free kick just forward of centre. Reese Edwards making a charge up the ground on this near side. Nitschke now plays on. Gets onto that right foot. Spearing pass inside 50, but it's chopped off. Picked up by McRae, but he ran right into a tackle. Now there's a chance for Kemp. Feeds it out to Nitschke. The two of them are getting busy in this second quarter. And Tristan Mead. Little bit of panic there from Southerners. Nitschke ran through, looked like he was going to get a handball receive and run straight into an open goal. Southerners grabbed the jumper on the way through. Tristan Mead saw it. And Cooper Nitschke now. In the long sleeves. Edwards still running past. Working the captain, setting the example. But Nitschke looks at him and says, "No, I've got this, skipper." Lines up deliberately. Sends it goalward. Straight through the middle. Tigers have 2 in a row. They move to 8 goals, 5, 53. Southerners 7-1, 43. 10 points in it here on Sunday afternoon in Manjimup. Entertaining game of football, end to end, some wonderful foot skills going inside forward 50 from both sides. Fascinating clash in the middle of the ground. Lockie Hughes has been busy. Cooper Brown has been outstanding so far. Jed Kemp, Cooper Nitschke, especially in this second quarter, coming right into the game as they reset themselves in the middle. McRae's in there for Southerners. He's got Kemp for company. Spills down to the side. It's McRae at the bottom of that pack. Tayton Smith comes in, swoops, picks it up. Wonderful pickup from Smith. Goes looking for Collins, Tom. And Tom gets an arm chop. And he will kick from just outside 50. I think he'll be looking for an option inside. Lockie Hughes gives him one. Ignored. Tom Collins now. Decides the top of the square is the best option. Big pack at the top of the square there. Tigers trying to clear up at the back of the contest. Managed to clear it wide. Not far enough though. It's Jack Cabassi out there. Sends it straight back inside. Touch ball on the way through there, but Zach Johnson held his nerve. And found a fellow Tiger right in front of the scoreboard who now comes inboard. Risky kick. And a stretching Kemp just manages to reel it in. He now goes out to that far wing. Tigers now just move the ball carefully up that far side wing. Thomas Quaife, who's owned that wing so far. Him and Tayton Smith having an absolutely absorbing battle out there. Another risky kick straight into the middle. Speaking of Smith, he chops it off. The kick was looking for Jed Kemp. Free kick to Southerners, who aren't even going to pretend to have a shot from about 90 metres out. That ends the action for the half. We'll see what the goal umpires have to say about this scoreboard. Scoreboard reads 8 goals, 5, 53 Tigers, 7-1, 7 straight, 42. Southerners, I think Southerners, there's at least 1 point missing there for Southerners. There may be a point missing for the Tigers. We'll see what the goal umpires have to say about that when they meet. Wonderful first half of footy here. I think both coaches would be pretty happy with what they've seen as the Tigers Brains Trust get together down in front of us. They've ended both quarters really well, Tigers, and tended to kick their goals in bursts. Their last minute of the first quarter was wonderful piece of football. They opened up the second quarter exactly the same way with a goal inside the first 30 seconds. We just wait for the goal umpires to meet in the middle and have a chat about this scoreboard. As Tristan Mead and Ryan Tyndale walk off the ground, the two field umpires. Of course, Tristan Mead, also the president of the Lower South West Football League. Big round this for Country Football WA. Important message, belt up round. Belt up every time. Let's make sure that players, officials, spectators alike are getting home safely from watching their favourite team or helping at the football. As the goal umpires, I suspect something isn't quite right because they're conferring for quite a while out there in that centre circle, having a chat to the young lads off the scoreboard. I think they're going to send them back with some work to do and some adjustments to make. Still conferring in that centre circle. It may be 9 points, it may be 11 points. Either way, we know we've got a close game here at Ray Park on a Sunday afternoon. We'll break now for half-time and be back with the all-important second half of action between Tigers and Southerners, round 6, belt-up round, Lower South West Football League. Welcome back to Ray Park. Sunday, round 6 for the Lower Southwest Football League. Belt-up round for Country Football WA. With thanks to Country Football WA and the Insurance Commission of Western Australia. Two sides back out on the ground. Wonderful first half of footy. That scoreboard still does read 8-5 53 to 7 straight 42, and I don't like it, because we definitely saw Southerners score a behind in that second quarter, so we know they're at least one. As the Tigers Brain Trust return to their bench, president down there. And I will give them a special thanks later on. The Tigers team just standing in front of their bench there, and must thank them later for managers to walk past and see me in a room they had to specially open up for me to commentate and not turn around and point and laugh. So well done to the Tigers team. Ben Lagana down there as well. And Ben is laughing at me. It's better than the alternative, Ben. I did tell them that if I got my way up that ladder, I might never come down, and they'd have to send a search party up there for me at about 8 o'clock tonight. So pick your poison. I'm in a room that you had to open up for me, and here we go. Umpires in the middle. Looks like it'll be Ryan Tyndale that starts play for us. Hughes back in the middle in the ruck. That's Corey Hughes for Southerners. Lockie in there. Still Jed Edwards in there as the ruck for the Tigers. Seaton Thompson's gone into the middle. Connor Brown in there for the Tigers. Thomas Quaife still on that far side wing. So it's going to be Ryan Edwards on this near side wing. Ball goes straight up in the air. That's going to bring rain. Southerners, now they get a chance to break through Thompson. Thompson goes up towards the 50. Ill-directed kick. Just went over the head of Connor McRae down there, and a chance to clear for the Tigers. It comes up towards the wing here. Rakowski with a chance. Lockie Hughes now a chance to get involved for Southerners. Trucks the footy back in towards the middle of the ground. Little short one across. Went to something you could see. Jay Ridley there. Eluded him. Now comes over the top, and a chance for Connor Cole for Tigers. Goes deep inside 50 towards Namnek. And he marks right out on that far side boundary. Distance not a problem, but he is almost out in the car park out there, Jethro Namnek. Took it just inside the line. Looks like he is going to shoot. Lines up carefully. Big kick this to start the second half. Right foot. Sends it goalwards. Goal umpire's happy. Tigers are happier. And the Tigers, as they did in the second quarter, start the third with an early goal. Not quite as clean as the first quarter goal, but did it well. Straight out the middle. Little bit messy in the middle, but once they managed to fire it forward, got it down there clean. Wonderful kick that found Namnek out there on the far side. Both sides head back to the middle now to reset. Chad Wrigley in there, number 7 there for Southerners, just behind their ruck. Hughes. Lockie Hughes at the back of the contest. He's got Rakowski for company. One down by Jed Edwards. Chance to break. Seaton Thompson gets it onto the boot. Sends it up towards the forward 50. Competing up there was Jay Ridley for Southerners. They managed to control the footy. Thompson with another chance. He drives forward. Hughes gets involved. And we're going to see a ball up. Ryan Tyndale getting involved. Centre half forward for Southerners. Hughes wins this time. Over the back, breaking away well. That time was McRae. Drives it deep into the forward line. Goes out of bounds. Was it on the full down there? Nope. Pinelli places the ball on the ground, says boundary umpire, you can have this one. And we will have a ball up deep in Southerners' forward line. Chance to clear for Edwards. Looks up. Doesn't see anything he likes. Seaton Thompson drifts in. Takes the intercept mark. Drives Southerners back inside forward. 50! Over the back. Snuck in from the blind side. Great piece of smart thinking there. Southerners now will get to line up at goal. That was Connor McRae. Came in from the blind side. No one spotted him. Had way too much space for Aaron Watson's liking. And McRae now gets the chance to line up. About 30, 35 out, almost directly in front. Bangs it on its way. Southerners, all-important answer in goal. The scoreboard has now put that point up for Southerners, but they've lost their way completely. Scoreboard reads 9 goals, 661. It should be 60. Southerners, I think that'll now take them to 8 goals, 149. Important goal there for Southerners. They were 2 goals behind at half-time. Tigers opened the third quarter with another one. Just needed that one to stay in touch. Did Southerners. Crucial goal, crucial time. Ball back in the middle now with Tristan Mead. Hughes and Jed Edwards, as they have done all day. Won by Hughes this time. Smacks it forward. Chance for Lockie Hughes to run onto it. Tigers track back. Managed to wrap it up. Quaife coming in off the outer side wing there. Had a moment. Chance Gill drives it forward. Well done, Tigers. Spun out of trouble. Back into it. Now we get a chance. Free kick. Tayton Smith takes the advantage. Misses to that far side. Don't think Southerners knew it was their kick at first. Tayton Smith played on after the ball got slapped forward to him. Sent it round the corner. 1 point the result. That moves Southerners to 8 goals 2, 50. Tigers 9 goals 6, which should be 60. Scoreboard says 61. Out on that far side, half forward flank. Tigers bring the ball back into play. Short kick, dangerous kick. Picked up well by Connor Cole. He made the most out of that and managed to switch it to that far side. Didn't panic. And now they get the chance to clear. Another short kick at the bootlaces of Thomas Quaife out there. Doesn't manage to pick it up, but they get another chance. Rakowski gets it. Now it comes out to this near side. Beggs tracks it back. He's got Jasper for company. And a stray arm from Beggs has caught Jasper there. Jasper stopped. I think Beggs felt bad. He stopped as well. Tristan Mead was the last one to react, and he eventually blew his whistle because the players kind of left him no choice. I think he's ended up calling that for head-high contact. Jasper getting seen to now by the training staff. A very apologetic-looking Beggs on the mark. Quick little hand between the two players. That's what we like to see in the Lower South West Football League. Good sportsmanship there. We know that Beggs, one of the absolute ball players in this competition, second in the best and fairest last year for the competition in the Colts, now playing at league level and doing wonderfully well so far. Very fair player. No doubt that was accidental, but it's done enough that Jasper's now leaving the ground. Umpire's just waiting for him to get off the ground before they resume play. Jasper will spend some time with his training staff as they make the change. Looking a little worse for wear though, Jasper. Southerners now, they bring it to this near side wing. Contest. Well done there by Gill, brought it to ground. And the umpires say, give it to me one more time. As Corey Hughes comes across from the middle, Jed Edwards was already at the contest. One down by Hughes. Thompson tries to spin out of trouble. Doesn't quite succeed. Beggs gets in there after the footy. Nitschke's at the contest as well. Beggs again tracks it forward, picks it up beautifully. Ball's still slippery from the earlier rain we had. Goes inside, right on the 50 there. Namnick has a look at his options, centres it, wonderful kick. Just clears Kemp. Gets hands to it though, has another chance, straightens up. Jed Kemp kicks the goal. The kick was slightly over his head to start with, but Kemp gets the goal, gets the style points, gets the aura points, and adds another one for the Tigers, and they drift back out to a 3-goal lead. Really good work there from Namnick, tight on the boundary, assessed his options, looked inboard, found the option he wanted, missed it by inches. Kemp did really, really well to mop that one up. And we've now got Tigers 10 goals, 6, 66. Southerners 8-2, 50. Ball back up in the middle. Hughes, Edwards, as they have done pretty much all day. Nitschke out the middle. Now a chance for Tigers to drive forward once again. They're just starting to get on top. This margin, it's only 16 points, but Southerners would want the next one or two just to keep touch because Tigers are looking dangerous. Another chance here. Nitschke, who's getting more and more involved in this game. Dodges one way, goes to his left, onto the right foot. Kick just drops slightly short of Namnick down there. Saving mark by Barnsby. And now that kick goes out to the far side. Seaton Thompson looks upfield, looks inboard, assesses his options, now just drives it straight up that far side wing. Aerial contest out there, and the ball spills over the line. Beggs, who's been involved in this third quarter. I think that's Lockie Hughes he's got out there for company. Two of the absolute young guns of this competition. The two rucks go at it one more time. Tigers drive forward up to the 50. Namnick comes out to meet it, picks it up. Southerners, chance to clear, but wrapped up in a tackle. Strong tackle. Tristan Mead right on the scene. Happy with that. Balls it up. Hughes gets it round the back. Barnsby drives it up towards the wing. Chopped off once again, though, by Tigers. Now they come inboard. Edwards drives it long into the forward line. Wonderful kick. Brown had an outstanding first half. I think this is the first time we've seen him so far in this third quarter, but he's been influential so far. Brown now lines up. About 40 out, directly in front, just misses to the near side. Namnick tries to keep it in play. And that one has come off Namnick's fingertips, hit the behind post. In fact, no, it had cleared the line first. And it will be Barnsby bringing it back into play for Southerners. Tigers looking threatening at the moment. They lead by about 2.5 goals, but just look like their mids are getting on top. Short kick in now. Finds Bendotti. He now switches play. Really dangerous kick. Doesn't come off. Just missed Wrigley. Put it in his bootlaces. Not where he wanted it, especially in these conditions. Tigers now scrap. They try and earn another opportunity. Ball comes out. Southerners still try to clear. Done well this time by McRae. Samuel. And now it's a free kick to Gill on that outer side. Goes looking for Hughes. Bounces off his chest. Quaife at ground level. Drives the Tigers forward. But Ryan Tyndale signals there was a stray boot in there that he didn't want. And Lockie Hughes will take the resulting free kick. Now kicks long up towards the 50. Big contest. Tayton Smith up there for Southerners. Two Tigers defenders came across and fisted the footy out of play. Boundary umpires will be called back into action, as will the rucks who have been at it all day. And once again, it will be, in fact, Hughes and Jed Edwards doing battle. Corey Hughes, of course, in the ruck. We've seen Lockie play plenty of different positions, but let's not put him in the ruck, just quietly. This time, though, Tigers try and drive the ball forward, goes out of play. Southerners with the chance now to bring the footy back in. Nice little switch. Southerners now looking for something they like off half back. Ginkono kicks up towards true centre wing on that far side. Southerners, though, they lose it. Tigers intercept. Another chance for here for Tigers to drive it forward. Not quite the kick Ruffino was looking for, but it still does get inside 50. Namnick now gets tackled, turns, spins. Didn't quite get that clean handball according to umpire Tristan Mead, and it will be a free kick to Barnsby back there. He's been good today. He's had a couple of big opponents to deal with, of course, none more so than Namnick. Kick comes out from Barnsby, finds Smith, still inside defensive 50. Tayton Smith goes right back to the top of the goal square. Switch of play. Now, can Southerners reset? Will they come back out the same side, or will they go out that outer side? Called to play on now. Dangerous kick right out towards the boundary, and in the end, Ruffino got a hand on that and actually probably did Southerners a favour, because instead of a last touch free kick, right near the 50 there, if it had just crossed the line without Ruffino touching it and crossed the 50-metre line, it would have actually been a free kick to Tigers and an opportunity to go straight back inside as the Rucks once again line up. Get ready to do battle one more time. Namnick this time, as he has done all day for Tigers, doing the ruck work up forward. Hughes for Southerners has come down and he's battled away for 2.5 quarters now. Hughes gets first hands to it, but it's Kemp at ground level, drives it inside. Superb short kick there from Kemp. Didn't panic, lined up Connor Brown, and Connor Brown, a chance for another one. This would be big for the Tigers. Sends it on its way. He loves it. His teammates love it. Goal umpire loves it. Tigers, biggest lead of the day so far. That will move them to 11-7, 73. Southerners 8-2-50. That midfield brigade of Tigers just getting on top. Kemp, Nitschke. Of course, we saw Connor Brown. He's currently forward. But they're just, Jed Edwards is getting clean hands to the footy more often than Southerners would probably like at this point. Blake Johnson's been good in the middle there as well. But Kemp and Nitschke in particular are really getting on top in this contest. This time it's won by Hughes, but again, at the back and flicking it over the front. Really good work there from Tigers. Kemp sends it inside 50, and just in the blink of an eye, Southerners' defence are under pressure again. Really good work there for, I think it was Connor Cole in the middle that got it over the top to Kemp. And again, that Tigers midfield brigade are making that Southerners' defence work certainly harder than they would like to be. This time it's Quaife on that far side wing. Drives it inside, but it's chopped off by Smith. Smith to Lockie Hughes. Lockie Hughes goes forward, but there's absolutely nothing there for Southerners. Handball out the back, chance to clear for Tigers. They actually did well then, Southerners, to close that down. Hughes again on the near side centre wing, gets the footy, gets run down from behind. Tigers with the free kick. I think that's Cole. Comes inboard, finds Edwards. Cole starting to have an influence again as he did in the first half. Edwards looks upfield, assesses his options, kicks to half forward. Namnick gets caught behind. Well done, Barnsby. He's been good today, Barnsby. Goes very short to Smith. Umpire says it was 15.02. Smith right in front of the Tigers bench. Goes inboard. Misses the target by a long, long way, to the point, not actually sure who the target was. Ben Dotty was closest, but there was a nest of Tigers there. I don't think that's a thing. Namnick now marks, handballs inside. Edwards drives him inside 50. Who's the target with Namnick not there? It's Nitschke. Couldn't quite. It was a good spoil from behind. Namnick gets involved again. Cleared this time by Giancono. Out towards that outer side. Thomas Quaife reaches over the top of Riley Gill. Tigers now, chance. Tried to run through, do just a little bit too much there. It was Dylan Edwards. Umpire says you didn't dispose of it correctly. Southerners now with a chance. They look inboard, just eludes the reach of Lockie Hughes, but he backs up well with a good tackle. Now a chance. Corey Hughes has come in. He's elected to bump. He's put down Jed Edwards. Umpire has a look, pays the free kick for high contact, nothing more. And Jed Edwards will come around and take his kick. Jed Edwards now goes short. And why wouldn't you when the option is Jed Kemp? Kick inside 50. And Nitschke marks, plays on quickly, gets around on that right foot. Done it again. Those two have been deadly. Nitschke and Kemp are starting to really grab hold of this contest, and if Southerners aren't careful in the next 5 minutes or so, this could get taken away from them. The danger signs have been there. Connor Cole, Connor Brown, Jed Kemp, Cooper Nitschke, that ground level quartet, along with Beggs, who's just grown into the game. We've seen Edwards obviously doing really good work in the ruck. They're starting to dominate the midfield. Even when Southerners can clear from defence, they're kicking it straight into a wall of Tigers across this midfield, and even if they get through half back. And at the moment, certainly in this third quarter, Tigers have had all the answer, and we're out to a game-high 29-point margin. Comes over the back, and once again, Tigers with a chance to clear, and once again, it's Nitschke down to Kemp. Kemp inside 50. Could almost put this on record and just play it back a few times, because those two are absolutely dominating this contest at the moment. Comes back up to the wing for Southerners. They do clear this time. Kemp involved again. Gets it out the back. Nitschke to Kemp. There we go again. Back inside 50. See? Namnick gets a hand to it. Well done, Barnsby, though. Brings it to ground level. Another chance here. Namnick at ground level. Can't quite get a handle on it. Again, though, they just find a way. Connor Cole takes a flying shot at goal, and he was celebrating as the ball left his boot. Then he had absolutely no doubt where that was heading. And that quartet have absolutely taken control of this game in this third quarter. Connor Cole's a problem. He's number 14. The other three, though, are dominating this game in numerical order. We've got Kemp in number 1, Nitschke in 2, Brown in 3. Kenny Beggs has been good in patches in 4 in this third quarter. Connor Cole in 14. And that group have taken control of this game of football in this third quarter for the Lower South West Football League. Tews this time from the middle, drives them forward. Good contest back there for the Tigers from Edwards. And they've managed to get a stoppage on the 50. The Southerners really need to stem the tide here. It's blown out to a 35-point margin. It's getting out of hand here as far as the overall result. Tigers, chance off half back, goes through Ryan Edwards' hands. Another chance here, though. Southerners have a flying shot at goal through Stackpool. Bounces! Missed the right-hand goalpost by about a foot. And that's a behind for Southerners. They move to 8-3, 51. They trail the home side. The Tigers, 13-7, 85. Quickly brought back into play and safely into the arms of Edwards, who comes out to this near side to Jed Edwards. He marks at half back for Tigers as they look for some movement up ahead. It's Rakowski, strong lead, straight towards the kicker. He marks on the chest. And Rakowski now will look to drive the Tigers up towards this near side wing. In fact, he goes short. Nitschke takes it down to his bootlaces, slows things down. Short, careful little kick inside to Kemp. And Kemp now looks for the next one up the line. Goes across the ground into the middle. That's a superb kick. Barely had to break stride out there. Barnsby did really well. It was Edwards that took that kick without breaking stride. Went looking for Namnick, but Barnsby, who in this quarter has become really important for Southerners, which probably isn't who Southerners would be looking to be one of their best players at this point, but he's had a mountain of work to do in this quarter. Comes back inside the 50. Edwards again, breaks a tackle, bangs it onto his right foot, gets brought to ground. Just a hush there as everyone waited for the goal umpire. Just a behind for Edwards with that flying shot at goal. Southerners to bring the footy back into play. Nice, short, careful kick finds Giancono. He now drives, looking for that next one. Not the kick he would have been looking for. Nitschke chops it off. And he'll bang the Tigers back inside 50 once again. Goes across the ground. Superb kick. The kicking of Nitschke and Kemp in particular has been elite. It's Namnick this time who's the recipient. He'll go back. Line up for another one for the Tigers. As Jed Edwards comes to the bench, I think for the first time today, he's done a power of work so far. Namnick lines up. Cross. And it hits this near side goalpost. Let off for Southerners. They breathe a sigh of relief, but the pressure's mounting on the visitors. Kick comes out to this near side. Hughes, he's got two to contend with. It's picked up by Rakowski. Got tackled at the last minute. Kick goes out on the full. Rakowski looking a little worse for wear after he was taken to ground by Hughes. Brought back into play once again for Southerners, right in front of this coach's box for Tigers. Solid contact there, kicked forward, came off someone's face in the middle of all that. Goes back out of bounds, it'll be tossed in once again. Right on the 50 this time. Tigers in attack again. Tossed into play. This one falls short. Tigers have a chance. Kicked forward this time by Barnsby. It eludes everyone, bounces out of bounds, deep forward pocket for Tigers. Southerners being forced to defend for long periods of time here, 36 points behind on the scoreboard. They need to clear the area and they need to put some scoring pressure back on Tigers here. 36 points late in the third quarter. They need a turnaround and they need it quickly. Quaife down there doing the ruck work this time. Picked up by Nitschke. Snaps around the corner. Hits the goalpost for the second time. Someone outside wonders to themselves who plonked that goalpost right in the middle of the ground. Southerners back into play. Hasn't been touched though. It's gone straight out of bounds on that far side, out near that scoreboard. And that's the last thing Southerners need, is to be giving the footy back so easily. Connor Brown now sends it back inside forward 50. Pack develops. Good chance here for Tigers. Quaife closer to goal than we've seen him most of the day. Samuel McRae tries to run it out, sends it up to that far side wing. I think that's Stackpool out there. Drives it back inside to Wrigley. Back to Stackpool. Now they can find that kick inside. Almost fell short, but Thompson managed to pick it up off his bootlaces. Now they get the chance to go forward. Can they make the most of it? They need a goal before three-quarter time, one suspects, but it's chopped off. Rakowski, who's been good. Brown, who's been outstanding. Drives it up towards forward 50. Namnick got hands to it. Picked up by Kemp, who gives it back to Namnick. Drives it forward. Not enough on the kick, and it's chopped off this time by Ben Dotty. Tom Bendotti finds Seaton Thompson almost. Kick just put him under enough pressure that Namnick almost got a hand on that one. Thompson drives it up the ground. Good kick. Finds Ridley in front of the Tigers coaching box once again. He bites off a really aggressive kick. Looks for Tayton Smith in the middle of the ground. The bounce eludes Smith. It's picked up by Connor Cole. He brings it back across to the near side and Ryan Edwards marks. Says, let's just slow this down, boys. We don't need to be speeding things up. And then puts one nice and low for Thomas Quaife, who slides in, takes the mark, looks out to this near side, finds Soroka, and he will drive the Tigers back inside 50 yet again. Plays on, goes round the man on the mark. Handballs, in fact. Chance. Kemp. Johnson. Johnson to the goal line. Blake Johnson, that was for Tigers. Misses to the left-hand side. Another behind for the Tigers. Barnsby will bring the play back in for Southerners. Tigers looking up quizzically at the timekeeper, wondering how much left in this quarter. Jasper drives it to the outer side wing. It's chopped up again. Their setup behind the ball has been outstanding, Tigers. Picked up this time by Zach Johnson. And Tigers have earned themselves a free kick. That's going to be Blake Johnson. Drives it back inside. And Southerners defending yet again. And this time, Nitschke has been held onto, according to umpire Tristan Mead, and Cooper Nitschke, who may have the only boots on the ground brighter than Jed Kemp's. But the way the two of them are playing, maybe we should all be going out and buying boots in those colours, because the two of them have been absolutely outstanding today. Got better and better as the game wore on, has worn on. Nitschke lines up, deliberate, boots towards goal. The noise tells the story. It's another one. The last thing Southerners needed was the damn wall breaking. Tigers kicking another one late in this quarter. Ball back in the middle with Ryan Tyndale. Quaife now in the middle for Tigers. Gets out the back of the contest. Chance for Southerners. They can't clear it though. That's been the problem for Southerners. They just can't get that clean centre break. Whereas when Tigers have gone forward, they've been able to get out of the middle a lot cleaner, particularly in this quarter. We're out to a 44-point lead for the home side. Tigers driving it back inside forward 50 yet again. Nitschke again wheels around onto his left, feeds the handball out. Another chance here. Now comes back to Nitschke, gets onto his right, bangs it goalwards. Another one. Kemp, Nitschke, Brown and Cole, the four of them, putting on an absolute masterclass in this third quarter. They were very good in the first half and certainly amongst the best handful of players on the ground. Unbelievably, especially Kemp and Nitschke have taken it to a whole nother level in this third quarter, and they've taken the game right away from Southerners in the process. Once again, it's the biggest lead of the game. And once again, Kemp trying to get free from the middle. This time, he's caught, holding the ball. Did eventually get a boot to it, but took too long to do it. Good tackle, Lockie Hughes. He goes out to the outer side, finds Gill. Kick finds the target. Gill now looks to move it on quickly. Finds the target. Jasper out there on that far side. Good to see him back on the ground. He goes inside and on a fast lead, took that ball at full speed. Seaton Thompson showing all his class. He says, leave it to me, boys. I'm having a shot. So Thompson lines up. He's outside, well outside the 50 now. He'll kick from pretty much on the 50. We saw him kick one early in the first quarter from a similar position, a little wider and a little closer. This one will test his distance. Lines up. Sends it towards goal. Collins on the goal line with Pinelli. Pinelli did enough to punch it across the goal line, but it's Ryan Tyndale down there. He has called a hold on Pinelli, and Tom Collins will have a shot at goal from about the worst possible place on the ground for a right footer. Opens it up a little, goes with the outside of the foot. Banana. Goal. Worked his way through that well, Tom Collins. Opened up the angle as much as he could before he got closed down. Put it on the outside of the right foot. Bananaed it through. To say that was a much needed goal for Southerners would be the most obvious statement of the day. I think that's their first of the third quarter. They'd love another one before three-quarter time, just to give them some hope, some faint hope leading into the last change. 15-11, 101 Tigers, 9-3, 57 Southerners. It's been all Tigers in the third quarter. They've blown this out to a 44-point lead. Back in the middle now, Southerners trying to scramble it forward one more time before three-quarter time. They do. They managed to succeed in getting it inside 50. Siren goes. Aaron Edwards in front of us here with the board. He would be absolutely delighted with that third quarter. They dominated from pretty much the first minute of play. They looked dangerous every time they went inside forward 50, and they went inside forward 50 a lot in that quarter. Kemp was outstanding in the middle. Nitschke was outstanding in the middle and went forward and created havoc for Southerners defenders. Connor Brown was still heavily involved. Kenny Beggs had a little purple patch in the middle of that quarter. And the class of Connor Cole, who of course is back here playing for Tigers from East Perth, he had an outstanding quarter as well and has been good all game. All to do now for Southerners. Tigers have shown that you can kick a lot of goals quickly, and as they just did in that third quarter. But Southerners, they'll need to repeat the dose and then some in this final quarter. They went in, I think, 10 points down at the halftime break. They've now got a 44-point deficit they're facing. A lot of work to do for Alex Kabassi and his team. We'll be back here in a few moments with the final quarter of action here on Sunday afternoon, round 6, Country Football WA belt-up round. Back here for the final quarter. Tigers and Southerners, Sunday afternoon, round 6, Lower South West Football League. Big mountain to climb for Southerners, but it's Tigers who get the first look inside 50. They go towards Namnek. Holding the ball. Good tackle there. Barnsby once again for Southerners. He's actually been one of their best so far today, especially in that third quarter. He was under siege. Goes looking and finds Lockie Hughes out there. Hughes along with Tate Smith. Barnsby, probably Southerners' best 3 to date. Hughes looks further afield, finds Gill. Gill taking his time, called to play on now. Goes short. Finds an option in Connor McRae. Southerners being careful with the footy, which they need to be because Tigers have been so dangerous every time they've got their hands on it. This time it's chopped off. Strong tackle in there by Southerners. The players go to ground. Tyndale comes in, calls for the footy and says, I'll deal with this. Toss it up, not far from the centre circle. And he will be called into action once again. Reece Edwards left holding the parcel, but not going anywhere. Belted forward this time by Hughes. Tries to just clear the Tigers midfield players altogether. Succeeded, but only briefly. Now it gets out the back and a chance for Tigers again. They drive it inboard. Chopped off by Ben Dotty. Banged forward by Southerners out towards that wing. Hughes reaches for it, but it bounces out of bounds. Last touch rule will come into play, last disposal. And Tigers another chance to bring it back into play and drive forward. 44-point leaders at the moment. Turned the contest absolutely on its head in that third quarter. Took a narrow lead at half-time and have blown the game wide open with just an outstanding third quarter of footy. And there's one of the absolute contributors to it, Kemp. He moves the ball now forward. Tiger out there with the footy gets absolutely pounced upon by 3 Southerners opponents. They manage to get the ball clear. Rakowski almost. Chance there for Wrigley. He gets wrapped up, and it's going to be... Things getting just a little bit heated out there. Tristan Mead comes in and says, I'm in charge. And after all that, it's a Tigers free kick. Ball goes inside 50. Good lead, good kick. And it's that man Kemp again. Don't worry about the number. Look at those boots. And they've seen a fair bit of action today, along with Nitschke, who's probably in the same camera shot. Kemp. Chucks a little bit of grass in the air just to see what the wind's doing. Don't think there is a lot. Lines up. Nice and deliberate. Bangs it forward. Tigers are happy. Goal umpire's happy. Another one for the Tigers. Nitschke coming off the ground, replaced by Ryan Edwards. Just the start the Tigers were wanting, not the start Southerners were wanting. Margin blows out to an even 50. And this second half has been all Tigers. Aaron Watson and his team would be absolutely delighted with the way the last half hour or so of this game has played out. Jed Edwards back in the middle. Kemp behind him. One down this time by Hughes. Just absolutely smacks it forward. Chance here for Southerners to run onto it through Wrigley. Inside 50. Good mark, good lead. Collins. 50 points the difference. Southerners president Tom Collins lines up. Sends it goalward. And misses. 9-4, 58. Southerners narrows the margin to 49 points. Tom Collins, what an absolute stalwart for this footy club and this competition. In the 2 years I've been involved, I've seen Tom play at full forward, full back on Jordan Strawn, obviously president of the Southerners Footy Club. Tigers come across the ground. Pinelli goes further afield looking for Soroka, misses the target. Soroka under all sorts of pressure. McRae, Connor wrapped up. Umpire says, give it to me. It'll be a ball up inside Southerners forward 50. Hughes does battle with Edwards one more time. It spills out the back. Chance. Wrigley tracked it back towards goal. Couldn't quite get a handle on it. Now ball stays alive. And another behind for Southerners. Not what they need just at the moment. They need goals and they need them quickly. They need to do what Tigers did in the third quarter and then another 2 to make up the halftime deficit. Game probably at this point out of reach for Southerners, but they'd love to bring the margin back because this was an absorbing contest in the first half. Just Tigers have absolutely owned the second half. They've come out and played some outstanding footy in this second half, that third quarter in particular. Goes back towards the 50 for Southerners. A little bit of the sting has gone out of this one. Southerners doing a fair bit of the attacking early in this quarter. And we've just reached a little bit of stalemate at the moment. 2 rucks do battle once again. It's on the 50 for Southerners out in front of that scoreboard. Smith, probably Southerners' best. His kick's chopped off though. Tigers drive it straight back up towards the wing. Stackpool now chases after it for Southerners. He's wrapped up as soon as he gets it. A couple of players join him for company and it'll be umpire Ryan Tyndale who wins the day, grabs the footy, and we'll have a ball up on that far side wing. Coming out the back of the contest, Tigers almost breaks for them. And in fact, the umpire's paid a throw out there against Southerners and it'll be Beggs. Beggs now gets round onto his right, sends it inside forward 50. Namnick gets a hand to it. Barnsby probably been close to Southerners' best along with Smith. Hughes was fantastic in the first half. In fact, this time he's won himself a free kick. Barnsby now drives Southerners back up towards half back, manages to find a target. It's Corey Hughes this time gets on the end of it. Hughes, dangerous kick in field, especially when you look at the nearest Tiger. It was Kemp, not who you want to be losing the footy to. Chance now for Southerners to mop up. The masses arrive, stacks on. Ryan Tyndale called back into action. And we'll have another ball up. Dangerous kick across the ground, especially when Kemp's nearby. This time it does come to Kemp from the contest. He kicks up forward. Brown. Connor Brown's had a real day out. He's been dangerous every time he's got near the footy. He lines up for goal. It's shepherded well on the line. That goes through for goal. As that one goes through, we see Nitschke lining up to come back on. Kemp jogging off the ground, looking tired, and why wouldn't he be? Kemp, hands on head. He and Nitschke will probably battle over the match ball. The pair of them have been just on another level, particularly in this second half. They were close to 2 of the best on ground in the first, but the way they took control of that game in the third quarter. Also lining up to come back on is Connor Cole. So some of the Tigers' prime movers now rolling on and off the bench. Nitschke goes straight back into the middle. Jed Edwards is in there. Ryan Edwards at the back of the contest for Tigers. Corey Hughes tries to get a handball free, succeeds. Driven forward, chopped off though by Edwards, the Tigers skipper, ever reliable back there. Fires it up towards that outer side wing. Bounces in front of Blake Johnson, controls it well though. Now they've got another chance. He thought about a bump then and saw his opponent get low, changed his mind. Well done. That's what we want footballers to do these days. Once they see a player low, we don't want them going through with a bump. Edwards spills down. Another chance for Tigers. They drive it inboard. Super aggressive kick. This time it's Ruffino. He drives it out to that outer side and it's chopped off. Southerners relieve the danger. This time, kick it back up towards that outer side wing. Ruffino gets another opportunity. Stretches, reaches, tries to get it at ground level. Handful of jumper on the way through and he'll be rewarded with a free kick. Well done, Ruffino. His kick got chopped off, came back to where he was, and now he's rewarded with a free kick for his hard work. Drives Tigers back up towards half forward. Just over the head of Beggs down there. Goes out of bounds. It did get a hand on the way through. So the boundary umpire will come in and sort this one out. Ball tossed in. Whistle goes. That one dropped a bit short. We'll have another go at this one. The intensity definitely has dropped the notch in this one. Big margin to the Tigers now. 54 points in front. Time winding down in this last quarter. Wonderful second half from the home side. Ball comes still reasonably central. Southerners manage to work it clear, bring it towards half forward, between wing and half forward. In the air, it's Stackpool. Drives it forward, and that's a strong mark, Collins. Tom Collins for his second shot of this last quarter. About 40 out, slight angle, camera's behind this one. Goes goalward. Sneaks it inside that left-hand goal post. Southerners have their 10th. Tigers 17-11, 113. Southerners move to 10 goals 5, 65. 48 points the difference. Too little too late for Southerners, but good to see Collins hit the scoreboard there. And in a sight that no Southerners fan wants to see, Jed Kemp runs back onto the ground. Ryan Edwards comes off. So we've got Kemp and Nitschke back in the midfield. Tyndale tosses the ball in the air. It's now Quaife in the middle. So Corey Hughes, who's been rucking all day, now has to deal with Quaife, who hasn't exactly been sitting around doing nothing. He's been playing on the wing, and it's been it was a fascinating move from Watson to put him out there. Now he's rolled into the ruck. Hughes has got a different challenge to deal with. Southerners now try and clear from half back. It comes across to this, right into the middle of the ground. Loose ball, chance for either side. Southerners try and get a clearing handball, smacked away by Jack Kabassi. Chance here, Kabassi again, the ball came back to him. Clears it to this far side in front of the scoreboard. Tayton Smith tracks it back. He's got company though. Keeps his head. Tries to evade the tackle. Went for the handball. His fist missed. And that wasn't what he needed to do. He's given away 50. A couple of Tigers players come in and give him a little bit of feedback. It'll be a Tigers free kick. Drive it inside 50. Rakowski. Good mark. Things settle down on that outer side wing. Rakowski will have a shot from about 45, maybe 50. Yep, it's right near that 50-metre arc. Tayton Smith, probably Southerners' best today, but even he couldn't evade that tackle in front of the scoreboard. Rakowski now lines up. Bangs it goalward. And for the third time in the second half, Tigers hit the post. Behind is the result. It's not going to affect the outcome of this game. Tigers have certainly got this one well and truly in their control now. Southerners bring it back into play. As Matt Johnson, very happy, walking past and looking up at his timekeeper, asking how long to go in this one. When can we start celebrating? Ball back into the middle of the ground. Collins, long way from goal. No one in the forward 50 now for Southerners. Tigers break yet again to this near side, and it's Barnsby. He goes wider still through the legs there of Connor Cole. I think he got a touch on the way through, so it'll be a boundary throw in. It won't be a last disposal free kick. As they wait for the rucks to arrive. A couple of tired boys out there now. Frenetic first half and then just an electric third quarter from Tigers has been the story of this game. Wrapped up. Ryan Tyndale will come in and sort this one out once again. Tosses it in the air. Quaife gets the knockdown. Nitschke comes around the back, flicks a handball out. Now they can go forward. Kick misses on the way through. It was Blake Johnson down there looking for it over the top. Now Southerners get a chance to break, but caught. Rakowski, he's had a good couple of minutes, drives it forward. Saving mark down there. It's Samuel McRae deep in defence as the lights come on at a pretty gloomy Ray Park at this point. Gloomy in name only. Tiger supporters are absolutely wrapped with what's going on out there. After a big win last week, today was the test. Dean Mill, a lot of players out last week, but Southerners still nonetheless fantastic win. But Tigers beat Boyup Brook, but then to come here and do this to a Southerners outfit who certainly had some confidence after their win over Dean Mill last week. Fantastic performance. Lockie Hughes now, a chance inside 50. The ball sits for him. He picks it up, fires goalwards. There's another one for Southerners. Unfortunately for Southerners, nothing more than a consolation, but well done Hughes. He's been one of their better players today, along with probably Tayton Smith and Taj Barnsby. For the Tigers, the duo we've talked about all day, Kemp, Cooper Nitschke. One suspects the belt-up round ball will be going to one of that pair. Connor Brown, though, he's been outstanding. Connor Cole, in his return to the Tigers, has had a fantastic day out. Edwards has been magnificent in the ruck. Be fascinating to see which way Ryan Tyndale and Tristan Mead go with the match footy as we get another ball up in the middle. Quaife now doing the work for Tigers. It breaks. He manages to scramble a kick forward. Goes to the 50. Southerners a chance to mop up. Kemp arrives on the scene for Tigers. Not a great sight for Southerners. They manage to escape the danger. Goes out. I think that's Gill on the outer side there. Gill drives it in towards right to the centre circle. Hughes is under it. Corey for Southerners. Chance to go forward again. It's picked up at the back by Connor Edwards. Ball spills once again. Tigers try and mop up. And that kick just came straight off the belly of the ball and straight into the coach's box. Kick back into play by Giancono. Tigers now. Drive the ball up to centre wing proper. The dangerous Connor Brown. He's got Samuel McRae for company. Leapfrogging a lot of them was Rakowski. Spectacular. Tyndale comes in, calls for the footy, waits for the rucks to arrive. It's Hughes and Quaife. The big men go at it. Comes out the back. Guess who? Nitschke. Kemp. Goes out wide, looking for Soroka, who looks to run onto it, but Southerners are there to chop it off. Quaife now coming off the ground. Ryan Edwards preparing to come on for Tigers. Tigers out of side, drive it forward. Namnek! Feeds it in. Cheeky little handball there from Namnek. You don't expect key forwards to give one away from inside 50, but Kemp came running past, gave him a little drive-by handball. Kemp runs in, kicks it low. Another one on the board for Kemp. Has that one just given him the edge for the match ball over Nitschke? Because honestly, I think the best Tyndale and Mead can do at this point between those two for the match ball is toss a coin. They've both been absolutely outstanding. They were both good in the first half, took their game to a new level in that third quarter. They've remained dangerous as some of the sting's gone out of the game in the fourth. Connor Cole would at least like to be in the conversation along with Connor Brown. Jed Edwards now back in the ruck. Another one who would have some claim, but I suspect we're going to hear a very low number called out when it comes time to present that ball. Kemp, again, on command, feeds it out to that outer side. Tigers now, another chance to go forward. Connor Cole this time, fires it inside, and it's Namnick again. He's had a good couple of minutes. Quickly looks up, kicks forward. Nitschke. So Namnick's given 2 away in about 2 minutes. Kemp got the first one. I thought that might have got him the match ball. Nitschke says, no. I'd love belt up round. I want the footy. Namnick feeds off another one. Some late icing for the Tigers. Game has been well and truly beyond doubt since, to be fair, probably late in that third quarter when time started to become the enemy and that margin drift out into the 40s. But certainly for most of this last quarter, if not all, it's been a result that wasn't in question. But certainly the last few minutes we've seen some icing for the Tigers. Some big smiles down there on the Tigers bench. Tyndale calls incorrect disposal. It will be a kick to Lockie Hughes. So the road ahead for these teams. Tigers next week play Imperials. Down the road, the shortest trip in the Lower Southwest Football League. High tackle there. Seaton Thompson will take the kick. Shortest trip in the Lower Southwest Football League. Tigers will walk potentially down the road to Imperials at Manjimup Recreation Ground. Of course, their Anzac Day clash, from memory, 10 points the difference in that one. Tigers clear from the defensive 50 through Zach Johnson. So big game coming up. Tigers and Imperials next week. Imperials, of course, fell to Dean Mill yesterday. Would have liked their chances going into that one after running them within 4 points in round one in a classic game that was on Filming Footy. Didn't work out for them yesterday. So Imperials would love to get back to their winning ways. Tigers would love to go for 3 in a row and reverse the Anzac Day result, which saw them 10-point losers on their home ground on one of the biggest days of the football calendar down here in the Lower Southwest. From a Southerners perspective, they're back at home next week. They've got Bridgetown coming to Pemberton. Big game for them. Of course, Bridgetown, big winners yesterday. Southerners will really need to lift from what they've delivered in the second half today to give Bridgetown a contest next week. Bridgetown probably second form-wise behind Kojonup so far this season. So big test coming up for Southerners to bounce back from today and take on a really good side in Pemberton next week. Tigers and Imperials, that'll be a fascinating contest. The third game next week, it's Saturday afternoon out at Kojonup Sporting Complex. Kojonup host Dean Mill. That game on Filming Footy a few weeks back, another game that was very similar to this one in that first half, very, very close, lots of lead changes, and then Kojonup exploded in the third quarter and just completely took the game away from Dean Mill. So look forward to that game next week. Hopefully Dean Mill gets some of their injured bodies back into that side. Kojonup have looked virtually untouchable all season to date. Still undefeated, got a 5-0 record, percentage of over 200, kicking big scores. And the dangerous thing with Kojonup is they're managing to kick scores from a range of different sources. They've had Charlie Walton come in from the reserves. He's been outstanding in the early, I think he's played 4 of the 5 games, kicking a lot of goals and translating last season's reserves form into that league side. He's got 17 for the season. Lee Lucev's got 22. Harry Taylor's got 13. Mitch Blakers has got 12. So Kojonup, they're finding goals from all over the ground, certainly all over that forward line. Dean Mill, of course, can't wait to get Jordan Strawn back. Missed him last time out. He's kicked 15 for the season. We know how dangerous a goal kicker he is. So could be one for the goal umpires next week. Of course, from a Southerners' point of view, they've got the dangerous Will Masters to deal with next week. Southerners now, this near side wing, send the footy forward once again through Tayton Smith. He's been really good today. Comes out the back. Tom Collins over the top to Seaton Thompson. Had a lot of company there. There's about 4 Tigers there. Kick goes into the middle. Chance now. It falls to Blake Johnson. He goes wide. Looks for Soroka. Soroka now on that far side wing. Gets onto his right foot. Sends it back up towards forward 50. Chopped off. I think that's Barnsby down there. He's done the best he can down there in that under siege Southerners defence. Ball comes back to centre half forward. Tom Collins wheels around, drives it inside forward 50. Chasing after it now is McRae Connor. Big tackle down there though. Tristan Mead says, I'll have it. Good contest. A very happy Connor Brown down here with the Tigers staff at the bench in front of us. Picked up out the back. Southern's kick goes across the face of goal. One behind. The results. Chance for Tigers to bring the footy back into play. Kick comes out towards Jed Edwards. They had a triangle of players out here. Lockie Hughes had to guess which one to go to, and then they just picked one of the opens. Kick now comes to Beggs. Beggs right in front of his coaching staff. Goes a long way backwards. Would have been in all sorts of trouble if he'd missed the target, but Edwards dealt with it. Comes inboard to Quaife. Quaife at centre half back. Handballs back to the skipper. Drives them forward. Kick lands in amongst a group of players from both sides. Well picked up by Kemp, who handsballed Cole. Handballs to Cole. Nitschke up forward. Handballs off to Namnick. Returns the favour from a few minutes ago. But Namnick can't finish that one. Once again, the Kemp and Nitschke show on full display there. Southerners bring the footy back into play. They come wide and long, looking for McRae, all on his own. He's got an option out wide if he wants it. Looks inboard. And there's probably as many people looking up at the timekeeper as there are watching the play at this stage, waiting for the final siren. It's just ticked past 5 o'clock here in Manjimup. Contested on the wing. Barnsby couldn't quite get the handle on it. Comes out the back for Southerners, but misses the target. Ryan Edwards now with a chance. Picked up Southerners. Ryan Edwards with the tackle. Held in. Umpire will have it. It was Jay Ridley down there wrapped up. Quaife. Around the back of the contest again. Kemp. Johnson. Drives it forward. Namnick just managed to body his opponent off the ball. Connor Brown picked it up. Siren went. He thought about having a real ping, changed his mind and thought, nope, I won't get the umpires to go fetch that one. Kicked it up into the air instead. Tigers very happy down here in front of us. That's a big win for them. 127 to I think 72. They've already started taking numbers off the scoreboard. Big win for the Tigers. Amongst the leading players on the ground, of course, Jed Kemp, Cooper Nitschke, Connor Brown, Connor Cole, Jed Edwards. Certainly you would imagine one of that quintet will be taking home the belt-up round football. For Southerners, certainly none tried harder than Taj Barnsby. Tayton Smith was fantastic on his wing. Lockie Hughes was very good. We saw Corey Hughes had to do it the tough way, rucked pretty much all day with no help. Had 2 very different opponents to deal with Jed Edwards for much of the day, and then the bigger-bodied Thomas Quaife with a completely different style of challenge to have to deal with. Did his best to cope with both. In the end, though, it was at ground level that Tigers just took complete control of this game. Their second half. Certainly anyone watching this today, the message has to be very, very clear. Tigers have absolutely improved from 2024 and 2025. and they're here to play in 2026. 2 close losses to start the year. They went down to Bridgetown by 17 points in round 1, had the bye, went down by 10 points to Imperials in round 3 in a really good game. Ran up against the rampant Kojonup, but they've bounced back with wins over Boyup Brook, and then of course today, big win over Southerners, who themselves were full of confidence after last week. We'll wait and see who does get the match ball here. Ryan Tyndale has it in his hands at the moment. Tristan Mead having a chat to the coaches just to get their opinion. Honestly, I think we could toss a coin at this point between number 1 and number 2 for Tigers. Which one's going to get called? If it's neither, I would be surprised at this point. While they wait to hand out the belt-up round football, of course, an important message today. Country Football WA belt-up round with thanks to the Insurance Commission of Western Australia. Too many West Australians are seriously injured or killed not wearing seatbelts. Wearing a seatbelt is the simplest way to reduce injury if you're in a crash. Be a champion on and off the field. Belt up on your way home today. The umpires and Kenny there from Mad Dog Media bringing across the players so they can do the presentation. First, Kenny's going to get a shot with both the competing teams and the umpires. This one pays the bills with Country Football WA. Good to see both sides. Game was played in good spirits. Mad Dog Media down there directing traffic. We'll wait and see momentarily. Once Kenny has his shots, we'll announce the best on ground and see who does take that belt-up round ball. Round 6 here in the Lower South West Football League with thanks to Tyre Power Manjimup. Of course, we saw earlier in the day the Retrovision Manjimup Reserves, the East Perth Football Club Colts. Ryan Tyndale and Tristan Mead now talking to the player group and announcing best on ground. And the best on ground award is going to... It's gone to number 2, Cooper Nitschke. It was always going to be him or Kemp. Nitschke, fantastic performance from the former Eagle, West Coast Waffle Eagle. He was fantastic today, as was Kemp. As always, but particularly this week with Belt Up Round, please drive home safe. If you're watching this on replay, hope you have arrived home safe. Thanks for joining us here from Ray Park today, round 6 of the Lower South West Football League. Belt Up Round for Country Football WA. We'll see you next week with round 7 of the Lower South West Football League.